This is the plaintiff, Priscilla Jackson Baldwin. She says the defendant, her niece, called her crying because she desperately needed money to buy a car. She told her she'd already put down $3,000, and if she didn't come up with another $2,000, they were going to keep her money. She helped her niece out, loaned her $1,000. Now they don't even speak anymore. She's suing for the $1,000 she loaned her ungrateful niece and can't wait for all this drama to be done with once and for all. This is the defendant, Makisha Jackson. She says her aunt, the plaintiff, gave her the money as a gift and told her she didn't have to pay her back. A few weeks later, she called and told her she was sorry, but she needed the money back. She was taken by surprise because the plaintiff gave her the money as a gift and is now trying to turn it into a loan. She's accused of annoying an aunt.
All parties, please raise your right hands. Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Priscilla Jackson Baldwin?
Yes.
You were suing your niece, Makisha Jackson?
Yes.
For $1,000 that you loaned her for a car that you say she has refused to repay. Tell me
Yes.
what's going on.
Well, as you said, this is my niece, Makisha. She originally called my mom one morning, about 6 in the morning. My mother called me and said, you need to talk to Keisha. Something's going on because she was crying so much. So I called Keisha. Keisha, what's going on? She's like, I purchased a car this weekend. I put $3,000 down and I need $2,000 by Friday because if I don't get the $2,000, they're going to take the car back. She had post-dated a check. I said, Keisha, I don't have it. I really don't have it.
What was your plan? Why were you purchasing a car when you didn't have the other $2,000?
I had the $2,000 in my savings, but I was not able to get it from my savings.
Why not?
Because there are some restrictions. It was my Roth account, and so I had restrictions and I couldn't take it out.
And you didn't realize that when you bought the car?
No, I did not.
Okay.
So anyway, she cried and I told her, I said, well, let me see what I can do. So I called my brother and we talked about it.
Your brother is her what?
Father.
Okay.
Her father. And I said, look, she really needs the money. I said, I don't have it. I said, but I think I can get it. So let's try to put the money together and get it for her. And she's going to pay us back. When we got the money, I transferred it to her account, $1,000 to her account. Then my brother gave her $1,000. He didn't give it to her. He loaned her $1,000 as well. And that was put in her account. Before she got the money, I told her, I said, Keisha, I need my money back and your dad needs his money back. No problem. If I have to give you my whole check, that's what I'll do. I said, okay. So after she gets the money, she takes care of her car, I guess. Then she had to move. So then that's going to be another extension. I said, okay, once you move, give me my money back. She moved, no Keisha. So I started emailing her. I said, every time I email her, how you doing? Do you have the money? And I have all my emails here. She's like, well, I don't have it right now, but I'm putting the money aside so I can give it all to you at one time.
Let me see the emails.
These are all the emails.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
So go on.
So then it came the end of June, I believe it was, and she emails me and says, well, I emailed her first, and then she emails me back and said, I can give it to you on June 28th, July 5th, or July 19th. I said, you need to pick one date. So she said the 19th was a definite date she'd have the money in her account.
Right.
I said, okay, fine. On the 15th, I emailed Keisha. I said, hey, the 19th is coming up. You gonna have my money? No problem. My money will be in the bank so you can get it. Okay. Then on the morning of the 19th, I email her, I say, Keisha, today is the day. Oh, my plans didn't work out, so I'm not going to be able to pay you. So I said, really? So I said, at this point, it's time to go to another level. And that's when I filed my case.
What's your answer to all this?
Okay, first of all, the story that she told is not completely true. I called my father actually the day that I needed the money, and he told me that he didn't say he didn't have it. He said, call the moms, which is his mother, my grandmother. He said, call the moms and they'll figure it out. And at that point, I was crying more out of stress because I reached out to my dad, which I normally do not. So I called my grandmother. My grandmother told me to call Zilla because I guess she takes care of all of her financial things. So I called Scylla. I told her what happened. I said I was asking my dad. I asked my dad for the money. I didn't ask her.
Okay, but
I
when
asked
she
my dad
offered
for
to
the
help
money.
out,
And
you
she
took her offer.
and she
so why
said-
aren't you paying her?
No, because she said, because when I was asking her, when I was telling her that I was asking my dad, and he basically was saying no, she said, well, don't worry about it. I'll see what I can do. And I said, oh, well, thank you. And she said, I'll be able to give you at least $1,000. And I said, well, I'll pay you back if I need to. And she said, no, don't worry about it. I'm just happy that I'm able to do it for you.
Did you ever tell her that she didn't have to pay you back?
No, I never
Yes,
told
she
her
did.
that.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Would you ever sue a relative?
No, I would not, because they're family.
They're family, but if they disrespect you by, I don't know, stiffing you, would you sue them?
Probably, yeah. If you had to. If it was enough money, I would.
How much is enough?
I don't know, say.
$1,000?
Probably, yeah.
$100?
Yeah, still.
$50?
Yeah.
Wow. What do you think?
I wouldn't. They're family. You should work it out.
Yeah, but if they don't respect you and they say, well, I may owe you the money, but I'm not going to pay you. Come on.
I wouldn't. It's just my opinion. I wouldn't.
Okay, fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
Okay, what proof do you have that this is not
was
a loan?
over the phone, so I don't have the call recorded or anything.
Who should I believe? You or my lying eyes when I read your emails saying,
I know the
I do
email.
appreciate what you and Dad have done for me. I will do my very best to give you all the money you loaned
And
me.
the reason why is because she initially wrote me this letter, and I didn't realize it. I should have corrected her right then and there.
Oh, you
But-
think?
but-
Maybe you didn't because you made a mistake and didn't correct it. Maybe you didn't because it was always a loan and you're a
No,
liar.
it was not a loan.
An ungrateful liar.
It was not a loan. And she
I
knows
did
that
have
it
money
was not
set
a loan.
aside to pay you, but like I had said, I had a situation and I thought this extra money due to me would help me by paying you and Charles. Who's Charles?
That's my brother.
Okay, I am doing everything possible to pay you both back. I feel like if I would have just turned my back and not even struggled to pay you guys back, then that would have been fine. Really. But because I'm doing everything to come up with my debt, it's like I'm the bad one or irresponsible one. It's like I can't make any mistakes because if I do, I'm a disgrace. I hate that I am always the one to be singled out. Oh, you're the victim. I will do what I need to do to get you and Charles your money. God, sure sounds like a loan.
It was not because she called me. She had called me a couple of weeks after she gave me the money. She said, I know I said that I didn't.
No, why would you keep calling it a loan? Then why don't you
because then
stop?
she said-
Why don't you say, listen, this was a gift. You know it was a gift. You want me to pay it back now? I guess I'll pay it back. But there were no strings
Because
attached.
I didn't want
How come
any
you don't
issues.
say that? Well, one
I didn't
reason you
want
might
any
not say
issues
that
with her.
may be that it's not true and that you're full of garbage.
Okay.
And the part that bothers me is that when you are in, how old are you?
I'm 30
30-something. Okay, when you're 30-something years old, you need to clean up after your own act. And you're asking your auntie and your daddy to pull you out of trouble because you don't even bother to go see whether you can spend your retirement money without a condition before you spend it, which is absurd. That's teenage stuff, not 30-something-year-old stuff. But instead of being mortified, okay, and grateful, you're actually, I know, lying in court against her. You're actually lying because I see every email you sent where you have nonstop talked about how grateful you are for, if you stare her down one more second, we're gonna have a problem.
Because I'm
Nonstop
not
talked
lying.
about how grateful you are for the loan, that you wish you hadn't borrowed it, that you wanna pay your debt. And sometimes, my friend, when it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck.
I'm not
It's
lying.
not something else.
I am
Has
not
she
lying.
paid any of this money back to you?
No. And
Do you
here-
know if she's paid any of it back to your brother?
Here's a notarized letter from my brother as well. She hasn't paid him
She
back.
hasn't paid
doesn't even
anybody
talk-
back.
No.
Well, you can only sue for yours, which is what you're doing for it, and I find in your favor. $1,000 verdict for the plaintiff.
Thank you.
Do you have your own children?
Yes.
Yeah.
What's your reaction to this verdict in this case here?
She's just a liar, and
The plaintiff you're talking about?
yes,
Yeah.
and I'm just very.
Why would she do that to you?
Because she's just being vindictive because of her situation, but it's over and done with. So.
Are you aware? Aren't you aware that it comes off looking like you're ungrateful? Though you don't want to look like that, right?
No, I don't. I don't have anything else to say. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so you step out here and tell me what's going through your mind after this.
I'm happy that this is over with, and the judge saw that she was lying, and I had all my emails, everything to prove that it was a loan.
What effect has all this had on the family? You
Her father, your brother?
Well, my brother, he's going to have to take a loss, I guess. But with me, at least I'll get my money, and that'll let her know that she needs to pay back her debts.
Mm-hmm. Your brother, her father, is willing to take a loss, as far as you know?
He's going to take a loss because she's not going to pay him.
Okay. All right. Over to Harvey then.
You know, for it to be a gift, it has to be very clear that it's a gift. Otherwise, it's a loan. And in this case, it was clearly a loan. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.